Alright, now let's move on to compound inequalities. Compound inequalities look something like this. Let's say you have m minus 2, alright, is less than negative 8, or m over 8 is greater than 1. So in other words, you have like two equations, two statements. So just saying that m minus 2 is less than 8, or m over 8 is greater than 1. So what you're going to get is kind of a line that'll look like something like this. So if you have a number line, you might have certain values, that include here, and certain values that go here. You might have a gap in between, like so. That's how this equation. So if you have an or like this equation or that, then what your final answer is going to be some kind of graph that goes to the left and goes to the right, but has a gap in between. So let's solve this. So m minus 2 is greater than less than negative 8. So m is going to be less than. Alright, so what we do is we add 2 to both sides. So we get negative. So you get negative 8. Alright, plus 2, which is equal to negative 6. So m is less than or equal to negative 6, or just less than negative 6, or let's see, m, okay, it's m over 8, so we multiply both sides by 8 to solve for m, so or m is greater than 8. Okay, so if we draw that on a number line, let's say negative 6 is here, and let's say 8 is over here, and 0 is somewhere here, right? So it's saying that any values of m has to be less than negative 6, so we don't include 6, and then we highlight everything to the left, and then it's saying m has to be greater than 8, so we circle 8, and then we highlight everything to the right, like so. So whenever you have an or in the equation, it'll always look something like this. So you'll have like stuff highlighted to the left, to the right, and then you'll have a gap in between. So not too hard. What about if we have something like this? Negative 1 is less than 9 plus n, which is less than 17. Okay. So in other words, if we have this, what this is saying is that this equation of 9 plus n is in between the values of negative 1 and 17. Right? But we want to find out what n is. Okay. So to do this, what we do is we solve first this equation from negative 1 is less than 9 plus n, and then we solve 9 plus n is less than 17, okay? Alright, so let's solve negative 1 is greater than 9 plus n, or less than 9 plus n. So then we bring the 9 over. So n is, alright, n is less than 10. Right now we have 9 plus n is less than 17. Okay, now let's solve for n. So n is less than 17 minus 9. Right? So that gives us 8. Right? So it's saying that 10. It's saying that 10 is less than n, or n is greater than 10. However, n is less than 8. So here it's kind of in between. So that means that n is between 10 and 8. Okay? So if we draw this number line, we have, say, negative 10 here and 8 here. Alright? Then all the values of n are in between these 2 points. not including these 2 points, however, because we do not have an equal sign. But so whenever you have a function, the inequality, that it's in between two numbers, then you know that when you draw the number line, it's going to be just like, 2 points and then all the values in between those 2 points.